Hello and welcome to Spotlight on Souris. Today is Thursday, July the 4th, 2004. My name is Jackie Kirkup and I have with me Scott Phillips and Sandy Denbow. Welcome.
Thank you.
Scott and Sandy are here representing the Souris and Glenwod Vet Board. So, I know we have a vet clinic in here in Souris, and I remember as a small young lady, or not a young girl maybe, going there with my dad with a cow or a dog, and so I know how old I am. So how old is this building, and what are some of the maintenance and upgrading issues that you've had to do over the years?
Well, the vet clinic dates back to the 50s. It's
70s.
70s, sorry. Yeah. Sorry. It goes back to the 70s, so it's a 50-year-old building, and they're aging structures across the province. So they're just needing upgradings continuously. There's always water being used in hosing and spraying, so there's a lot of wear and tear in the buildings. They're hard to heat with the back doors always open, and there's a lot of costs. And we had a lot of reserves built up, but over the years it's just everything goes up, and our grants don't match the demand, and so they're depleting a little bit. We still got money in the bank, and we're just looking to keep things viable for the future with the clinic.
Okay, well that sounds great, and so it's such a needed service for not just Souris but surrounding areas. So how is the vet clinic funded here in Souris?
The vet clinic is funded both by municipal councils. There's Souris Glenwood, there's Oakland Wawanesa, Sifton, and Whitehead. We're really trying to entice Grasslands to come on board, but we're not quite there yet.
Right.
And our grants from the 4 municipalities are just over $19,000 a year.
Okay.
And that is matched by the provincial government.
Okay.
So we have a very, very small budget.
Yes, you most absolutely do.
Yes.
And great information. I personally had no idea that there were 4 municipalities together running the vet clinic here in Souris. So I think that's a very important message to get out to not just this community, but those communities as well.
Yeah, with a shortage of vets and other clinics, it's the public has got to know that there are vets in Souris, and the clinic is open, and it's a well-run building.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. How often is the vet here in Souris?
The vet comes 3 days a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
Okay.
The tech's there 5 days a week. They got your regular business hours, and they're always there. There's always someone to answer the phone, or you can go in and see what you need to do and schedule appointments, and they'll get you in.
Okay, well that's great news to hear, to have, especially the vet coming 3 times, that's pretty impressive, but having access to the clinic, whether, to make an appointment, or, maybe they need a dog food, maybe, I don't know, they can stop in and pick up some supplies possibly,
Yep.
so.
Lots of follow-up checkups that the techs can do, and there's a really good staff there that Haley has, so it works out well.
Nice, that's great. So what are some of the key upgrades that you have done over the years, or I think maybe in particular last year? Was there a large upgrade in 2023? Am I reading that right?
The province and the feds, they came up with a $75,000 grant for large animal use in clinics. So that was just a huge win for us.
Oh.
But it didn't last long. It was spent quick. We got a new chute system and a large animal holding pens and horse stocks and dental equipment and anesthetic machine and ultrasound machines, and it's gone.
Wow.
Haley did a great job of sourcing out the best guys and ran everything through the board, and we worked together with the staff, and we got all our pennies in line, and I think we did a great job on making full use of the $75,000.
Wow, that's very impressive. And you don't sometimes think that your animals are going to need an ultrasound or a specific dental care, not necessarily. And knowing you can go to your vet and have those services and know those pieces of equipment are there are definitely reassuring.
Yep, for sure, yeah.
And this grant was specific to large animals.
Okay.
So we had to be very careful.
Yes.
And Dr. Haley was wonderful to work with because she knew exactly what was needed and where she could access it.
Yeah. And coming from an area of a farming community, you do have those large animals, your cows, your horses, and maybe your alpacas, llamas. There's lots of different things out there.
She's seen it all in there, and we're very lucky to have a vet that is so engaged with large animals, and being in a large animal place like in the country like this. So Yeah, it went to good uses, and the clinic's well staffed for large
Oh,
animals, yeah.
Excellent. That's great to hear. So what are some of the costs that are associated with running the clinic?
Utilities are huge.
Okay.
You know, the building being 50 years old, it was built with cinder blocks.
Mm.
So of course, I don't think there's too much insulation going on there in those walls. And in order to do an upgrade, of course, we would have to do it from the interior, and where we find the funding, that's another story. So yeah, utilities are huge. And just the general upkeep, like,
Right.
you know, just like anybody else's business, there's always something that's breaking down.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, with insurance and, you know, plumbing
yeah.
costs and constant upgrades to the waterworks and cosmetic and snow clearing and lawn maintenance. That just shy of 40 grand, it's gone quick.
Yep, I
Yeah.
certainly believe that.
Yep.
That's for sure.
Yep.
So again, where I touched on earlier that this was a group that's composed of 4 municipalities. And so can you give us a rundown of who those people are and what positions they may have on your board?
We don't have any positions
Oh,
per se.
Okay, yep,
There's 4 different counselors from each of the municipalities that represent on
okay.
the board, but other than, I guess, me.
I heard
And
you
we
were
do
the
have
secretary.
Yes,
Yeah.
and treasurer, and we do have a chair. But,
Right.
Yeah, we don't really assign positions per se.
Perfect.
Yeah,
Yeah, I totally
yeah.
understand.
Because that would be difficult, but everybody just kind of helps out. Like,
Yes.
You know, if there's something needed, we do a lot of our meetings via email.
Okay, yeah.
'Cause
Sometimes
it's
that's
hard to
just
get
the way.
people together.
Absolutely. And, you
Yeah.
know, seeing the both of you sitting here, I know how involved you are in your communities. And so your meetings have lots of meetings to attend. So
Yeah, there's a
sometimes
few.
that just has to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we're lucky we got Frank Jones from Oakland, Wawanesa, Dennis Forrester from the Arm Whitehead, myself from the Arm of Sifton, Don Brown, who is our chair, and Todd Walker from Souris and Glenwood, and
Okay.
of course the brains of the team is Sandy. So she pulls us all together and get in here and sign these checks. And
Yep. Keeps
so-
you organized,
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
sure.
So the,
Well,
Sandy
that's
deserves
great.
a lot of credit for the operations of the clinic too.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
Good. Well, that's great to hear. So do you have a specific vision for the clinic and its future?
The vision is to provide the most up-to-date and safe equipment we can financially afford, to ensure that the staff is safe and have what they need to operate on a day-to-day basis and keep their business viable, as well as to make sure that the ratepayers of our municipalities have what they need in time of a cesarean or a spade or neuter, whatever the procedure may be. We want to make sure that we have what they need to do.
Right. Okay. So I know recently there was a $5 user fee introduced. Can you explain a little bit about what that is about and what it's for?
Scott was a big push for that, right?
We're going to put the heat on him for a minute.
And rightly so, because we had to do something. Like with around 40,000 budget, like what do you do?
Right.
And we're not the only clinic in the province that has introduced the $5, and we thought that was a fair amount, really. Like,
Yeah.
I know other places are charging a certain amount, I think maybe Verdun was one of them, for people in the community, and then
Okay.
there was a different fee for outside. But one thing about our clinic, we are very specific. We ask that it's mostly the ratepayers from the 4 different municipalities.
Okay.
And if they have time, they could squeeze another one in, but we come first.
Okay.
It's 4 municipalities.
Oh, well, that's
Yeah.
excellent, you know, to know that we're top, right? Like we get the priority.
So we advocate very strongly.
Okay.
So every ratepayer in the municipalities, they pay for it as it is.
Yes.
So this $5 is just a user fee, so we're not going back to the ratepayers to asking for more money, and we're not going to the RMs for asking more money. This is a user fee, and you know, it's $5, and you know, like I've had my dogs in there, and usually you have to take a dog in there when you don't want to take a dog in there.
Of course.
Or whatever reason. So the $5 is a very, very low fee, and it's a, you know, it's a, I haven't heard any complaints. A few questions, but it's everyone understands that it's just a cost of doing business, and with inflation, you know, $5 is,
Yeah.
it's very affordable.
Yeah, and right now everybody's feeling the pinch,
Yeah.
no matter
Yeah.
who you are, or business, or personal, or whatever. It's certainly,
Yeah.
yeah.
And the
Things
first month
have changed.
was just shy of $300 collected. So you know, it's that's not a lot of money, but that'll add up.
Absolutely it will.
And that'll definitely help the operation of the clinic.
Right. And so the fee, you would be charged each time you come with an animal to the clinic. Is that correct?
Yeah, unless it's a follow-up, like a few days later.
Okay.
Then we're not gonna do that. But if you bring the dog in for this in June and another scenario in August and another one in December, then it's a $5 each time.
Each
yeah.
time.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
And if a person was just to stop in and schedule an appointment, they're not going to be charged
No.
$5.
Not
Okay.
to the examination, yeah.
Okay, so it's for the actual veterinarian service. Is that how we could word that, or am I don't want to
Yep, yep.
put you on the spot.
Yeah, like it's
Yeah.
not, you're not coming in to pay $5 to get feed or to pick up a prescription or stuff like that. It's
Okay.
just the inspection of the animal is a $5 fee.
Okay, okay.
And just to be clear on
Yes.
this fee, it goes to the vet board. And I think a lot of people, that's where the misunderstanding is that it's tops up the vet fees, but it doesn't. It's strictly to operate our clinic.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Operational costs. Yeah.
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
Okay, well, that is, I'm glad that you were both available to come and, clarify the $5 fee and how it's going to be implemented and what it's going to be used for. I think that's important for the ratepayers for all of the municipalities to understand.
Yeah, I'm glad you had us in tonight and explain it all and promote the clinic and,
Yeah.
and,
If you get it, we're hoping to have an open house one of these days. We
Yeah.
just have to get our act together.
Yeah, well, and it'll happen. You can't do
Yeah.
everything
It will,
No,
right,
overnight.
right.
everyone's got busy
Yeah.
schedules, so
Yeah,
we
and
wanna do it
again,
right
knowing
there.
the two of you, you're super busy. Is there anything else that you'd like to share about the vet clinic? Any, thoughts about the future or any other task force that might be happening?
Well, this provincial task force, I'm not at liberty to say what's all on the docket on that, but there's being creative ways to increase the funding without having a major impact to ratepayers or to the province. So there's a few things in the fire, and hopefully we'll have some good news in 2024 on some of those projects.
Right, excellent.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate your advocacy for the vet clinic here and for the vet services in the Souris and in the surrounding community. I know, I'm appreciative, if I got a dog that's not feeling well and just know I can make a phone call and take a
Yes.
quick drive down and, get my animal looked after is
Yep.
a nice thing as a ratepayer, I
Yes.
feel.
Yeah.
With the shortage, like it's right across Canada, when Grand Valley left our community to, do more in Brandon, we were at a real crossroads, like there weren't vets out there. And we were so thankful to have Dr. Haley, who had the mobile clinic,
Yes, yes,
come to see us.
yeah.
Yeah.
We may still not have a vet.
Yeah.
Is the closest veterinary, or for a person to go to school to become a vet, is it Saskatoon? Am I correct?
Yeah, there's talks about perhaps, and these are one of the things that we're not sure on yet, is maybe looking at getting a vet tech school in rural Manitoba, the 2-year course, and you can do some practicum with a private vet clinic or a provincial one. So that's one of the things we've got to look at doing is what can we do closer to home
Right,
to get more people engaged in the veterinary medicine and especially large animals.
right.
Yeah, so.
I wouldn't have a hot clue, and I don't mean to put you on the spot. Like, how long would it take to become a vet? Like, is it like a 7-year?
about
Yeah, I think it is
Okay.
7 years, yeah,
Okay.
I could be corrected on that, but it's not an overnight thing.
No,
You can get in and then get your, feet on the street and get going and stuff,
right.
and I think they do that for a reason to make sure that you really like it.
Yes, makes
Because
sense.
it's not for everybody, even you think it is, you think you like it, but once you get into
Yeah.
it, and it's all the vets across Canada deserve all the credit in the world, because it's a tough job.
Oh,
You
I
can't
believe
ask
it.
the horse where it hurts. You can't
You're
ask
right.
the cat, so, it's you gotta do your best, and
Yeah.
they deserve all the credit.
Yeah,
so.
and it's not all just, I'm gonna hold your cuddly kitten or puppy. It's
Yeah,
like
they-
some big decisions that
They
sometimes need
scratch.
to be made. Yeah, they
And
do.
it's not a 9 to 5 job either, so,
True.
or
Yeah.
weekends
Yeah.
off.
Yeah, you can't tell the cow at 3 a.m. not to prolapse.
Do you, and again, maybe an on-the-spot question, but curiosity, is it, there's not enough seats, say, at a veterinarian school for, say, students to enroll in, or is it just not even having the people interested in, or is it it could be a combination, I
It's a
guess,
little
of both.
combination, yeah.
Yeah.
The province has increased the seats,
Okay,
and some municipalities are looking at doing non-forgivable loans and grants to entice them to come back. it's, there's some politics involved to get everyone back into Manitoba on this, but I'm confident that with the task force that's created, there's a lot of good minds from across the province on this board, and I think they're going to come up with some creative ways to make sure that the vets come back to Manitoba.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent news. Well, I know your work's not done when you leave here tonight, and it sounds like, I think, Scott, you're on this particular task force. And yeah, it sounds like hopefully you'll make some headway. If anybody has any specific questions about the veterinarian board, or in particular, say about the vet clinic here, who could they contact?
Well, they can contact any one of us at any
Okay.
time. My phone number is out there and my email's out there. I can field calls at any time. And Sandy's in Souris, and
Yeah, I'm
she's one of the
pretty
most
visible.
most visited girls in the town. So
Yes, she
you know,
is.
we're an open book. We're
Okay.
transparent, and we're happy to field any questions, and look forward to getting more people using the clinic.
Okay, that's excellent.
Yeah.
All right. Well, if there's nothing more, we'll maybe wrap up the interview. I know it's still light out, so we might like to enjoy some warm weather yet. So thank you both for coming. It's very important information.
Yeah,
Thank you
thank
for
you very
having
much.
us.
Excellent. This has been Spotlight on Souris for Thursday, July the 4th, 2024.